What's up, YouTube? I hope everyone is keeping healthy and staying safe during these rather strange times. And during these weird times, some of us are being encouraged to spend every waking moment with the same person. And we have to find new ways to work, live, and get along with each other. And if your marriage or relationship is built on a weak foundation, this added stress and lack of space can cause some serious tensions to rise. And it can lead to arguments, conflict, and breakups. Now, in China, where the outbreak first began, divorce rates have actually been climbing. In fact, in some Chinese cities, a record number of divorce filings were recorded right after the pandemic restrictions were lifted. So what can you do to save your marriage or your relationship during these crazy times? Well, in this video, I'm going to cover 12 tips that will ensure that you and your significant other will not only survive this pandemic, but thrive. Tip number 1, let your partner express themselves. Right now, tensions are high and stress levels can be through the roof. Maybe he or she got laid off, they're worried about money or rent, or just reading the news way too much. But right now, there are a ton of valid reasons to be feeling a little stressed out. After all, living this way isn't natural. So allow your partner to feel whatever they want to feel about this pandemic and don't try and belittle their emotions. Instead, validate their feelings and make sure to let them know that you're on their side and you'll do whatever you can to sort of help them push through this strange time together. Tip number 2 is to keep your anger and your anxiety in check. So like I said, there are definitely a lot of reasons to feel anxious right now, and that's okay. But taking out all of your anger and frustration on your partner is a one-way ticket to misery. This anger and frustration can take many forms, but one thing that you absolutely must avoid is criticizing your partner, especially when it comes to money and work. Instead, try and funnel your negative energy into something else. Do a home workout or a passion project, because when you're feeling annoyed, you just want to do your best to avoid your partner and allow your feelings to pass. If your partner is getting on your nerves, politely choose to, put on your headphones and listen to a relaxing tune or a podcast. Whatever you do, just try and remain calm. Tip number 3, come up with a schedule. So for some people, time alone is a critical part of their mental health. And this is something that you or your partner might not understand. So in order to ensure that you and your partner get some time alone, come up with a schedule where you have an allocated, reading time right before bed or first thing in the morning. Basically just guaranteeing this alone time can help the introverts out there refuel as much as possible. Tip number 4, come up with a routine and responsibilities. Right now, you want to minimize the number of potential conflicts. So coming up with a routine and a list of responsibilities that you both can agree on would really help with this. So it can be something as simple as, say, on Tuesdays you take out the garbage and vacuum. On Wednesday, your partner does the recycling and the dishes, and so on. Doing this is easy and it can work wonders to add some orderliness in an otherwise crazy time. Tip number 5, avoid reading the news. Right now, the news can be a huge source of anxiety and fear. It can be easy to get sucked into your phone or TV and just listen to the news 24/7. After all, it seems like every day something insane is happening somewhere in the world. So instead, just limit your screen time. For example, I limit myself to reading news on my phone for only 20 minutes a day. That's enough time to get caught up on the biggest news stories without adding unnecessary anxiety into my own life. Tip number 6, pick separate hobbies. Now this will give you and your spouse extra room to breathe, and it can be a great time to explore some passions that you've always wanted to try. So now is your time to explore. If you ever wanted to learn how to paint, maybe you've had a great short story idea, maybe you've always wanted to write poetry, well, now is a great time to look into those kind of hobbies. Tip number 7, don't ignore your body. How well you take care of your body can have a dramatic impact on the way you feel, so try and do something active every single day. There are a ton of great home workout videos here on YouTube, and for many of them, you don't need any workout equipment at all. So there's really no excuse. Exercising has a huge impact on your mental health, so if you've been feeling mentally drained or antsy, try giving this a shot. You won't regret it, and your partner won't either. Tip number 8, when you do argue, call a timeout. Arguments and conflict are inevitably going to happen despite your best efforts. Now this is okay, and it is totally normal, but what you can control is how heated these disputes get. Now my dispute diffusing system is one of the hallmark techniques in my Mend the Marriage program. So if you want to learn more about this technique, just go to marriageguy.com and watch the free video on there right now. My dispute diffusing system has proven effective in handling arguments and conflict between couples. So if you argue a lot with your partner, then definitely check out that video at marriageguy.com right after you finish watching this one. One tip that I like to teach my clients is to call a 30-minute timeout during a heated argument. You'd be surprised at how much calmer you'll feel even after this very short amount of time is over. And you'll also have time to formulate your argument so you don't accidentally say something stupid. Tip number 9, go outside or go for a drive. Don't be afraid to leave your partner hanging just to get some fresh air or go for a drive, because chances are they need that time alone too. One of my favorite excuses to get out of the house, a jog. Exercising outdoors kills multiple birds with one stone, so put on those jogging pants and get to it. Tip number 10, set up your workstations far apart from each other. So if you and your spouse are both working from home, make sure that you give each other as much space as possible. Obviously, for some living situations, this might be pretty tough, but having that alone time while you work can really alleviate some of the anxiety that might creep in during this pandemic. Tip number 11, don't forget about intimacy. Now, this one can be difficult because, let's face it, being around a person all the time can kill the passion and the romance. And on top of that, at least 85% of people say stress obliterates their libido. So there are multiple factors that are working against you here. But this is an area that you simply can't ignore. So make sure you allocate some time to having a stress-free moment with your spouse every day. Maybe you can watch a funny show together, read some books together, or even just have a bath together. Just do something where you both aren't thinking about finances, work, and the crisis that we're currently living through. I know it's a little easier said than done, but I think you can do it. And finally, tip number 12, don't be afraid to reach out and get help. Marriage or couples therapy may be hard to find nowadays, but I have a great solution for you. Maybe you didn't know this, but I offer one-on-one personal coaching via email. So if you're struggling with a current relationship, then you can have me in your corner to help you through it. For more information on my personal coaching program, just head over to marriageguy.com/coaching. And from there, you'll learn everything you need to know to get started without your partner ever knowing about it. Again, that URL is marriageguy.com/coaching. And you can head over there right now because this video just ended. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you have questions, just leave them in the comments section below and I'll get back to you. And also, please don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.